That's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I choose love, love, love. Love, love, love. I choose it, love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I choose peace, 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 peace. Peace, peace, peace. I feel it, peace, 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 peace. I choose peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I choose joy, joy, joy. I feel it, joy, joy, joy. Every day it's joy, joy, joy. I'm choosing joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace, and I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. Everything is music, let it play. Tell me, why do you stay in jail when the door is wide open? The door is wide open. The door is wide open. Tell me, why do you stay in jail when the door is wide open? Let the beauty that you love be what you do. Stop your talking now and open up the window, the one right there in the middle of your heart. Give us your hand and sit down in the circle. You know you got no reason to keep yourself apart. Well, the day you wake up sad and empty, don't go back to sleep. No, no, don't go back to sleep. No, no, don't go back to sleep. Yeah, but the day you wake up sad and empty, don't go back to sleep. There's a million ways to kneel and kiss the ground. Don't worry now about saving all these songs. There's so many more just waiting to be found. And if all these instruments should disappear, we'd still hear something coming up from way down in the ground. Yeah, we come to the place where everything is music. Everything is music. Everything is music. Well, we come to the place where everything is music. Everything is music. Let it play. Everything is music, let it play. Everything is music, let it play.
And as Reverend Chris said, we're absolutely delighted to see you in our service. And if it's your first time or you just want to remind who you are, please give us that treat. So, is there anyone in this room who wants to introduce themselves? Yes, please. Welcome. Very nice to meet you, Paula. So, for those of us, yeah, give you a round of applause. Well, for those of us who are watching us at home or from somewhere else, I'll tell that we have Paula and she has watched the services before. So if you like Paula and you watch it for the first time or for the second, please come and visit us at the Celebration Center in Falls Church, Virginia, or at least just give us a note that you are here. And you also can go to the website and contact Reverend Chris or practitioners with your questions about what the science of mind is, and Reverend Chris will be happy to respond to you. I mentioned that I am a licensed practitioner at the center. So, in that, what practitioners do, we pray because the philosophy of science of mind based on the conviction that prayer works. Practitioners made a commitment, they dedicate their life to this philosophy. We studied, we love this philosophy. We went through some challenges, because that study takes soulful spiritual work to understand that philosophy. And we're still studying, believe us. It is our joy and pleasure and honor to pray with our congregants and with wider community. We ask you to give us this opportunity, and there are several ways how you can submit your prayer requests. You can, if you're here, you can fill in this green card, and it will be delivered to practitioners, and practitioner will be praying with you for a week. You can go to their website and you can submit a prayer request. There is a special button on our website to do that. Or you can mail your prayer request to prayer@celebrationcenter.org. All the ways to submit a prayer request are completely confidential. They go to our practitioners, and practitioners pray with you on your prayer request for a week. You also can contact the practitioner and ask to pray online or over the phone or in person. So you can do that. And there is also um, the possibility of booking practitioner session. So give us that chance and give us and give yourself that new experience if it's new, or if you know how it is, please continue doing that. So today's reading, I give credit for that to our beloved Reverend Raymond Anderson. I usually Friday is the day when I'm preparing for platform and I'm looking for the reading. And I said, well, I'll look for it, but I will check Facebook. And I went to Facebook, and Facebook brought up Reverend Raymond's page, and he posted a reading. And that reading was about laziness, and it was just a perfect gift for me. About doing nothing. And that's what Reverend Chris was talking about, being playful, taking time off doing, and being playful. So I just, became lazy and just took that reading. He knows that. I said, thank you. Summer is the annual permission to sleep, to be lazy, to do nothing, and have it count for something, to lie in grass and count the stars, to sit on a branch and study the clouds. Regina Brett. Here in America, we have a cultural bias against laziness. We're a country of doers instead of beers. We have bought into the fallacy that unless we are doing something, we're wasting time. Yet grief reminds us of the necessity of nothing doing. Our grief slows us down and makes us lethargic. Like the heat of August, it depletes our energy. It makes us lazy. And then in the lassitude of grief, we do the necessary work of thinking our thoughts and feeling our feelings. Our inertia is essential to our healing. When I'm feeling lazy, I will recognize the necessity of doing nothing. I am learning to embrace laziness and just be. And I invite you to pray. And as I recognize that Spirit is the creative power, God is all there is. And there is nothing else but God. It is the air I breathe. It is the life I live. It is all that there is and there ever will be. God is eternal and immortal. God is the presence moment, the breath, the time between breaths, the sweet space between thoughts. That's what God is. God is love, God is peace, God is abundance, God is prosperity, God is joy, beauty, God is harmony. And I am one and inseparable from the divine. I'm all that God is. And as I recognize my oneness, I know that everyone in this room and in this gathering, in this service, is one and inseparable from the divine. Everyone is what God is. Each and every quality of the divine belongs right here, right now, and forever for everyone who's here. And I know that to be a perfect expression of the divine, it doesn't take anything to do. It is just being. It is being love, being joy, being peace, being that laughter, being that summer day or winter day, being that wind, being that space between thoughts, being laziness, pure relaxation. As in that, we can enjoy God as much as when we do things and pray and talk and have conversations. And I declare perfect and radiant health, love, perfect relationship, perfect employment, perfect use of skills and talents, perfect creative power, creative ideas for this community. I know love, I know peace, I know bliss. And I know quiet time, that meditative energy that reminds us what truth is, the spiritual truth. And I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to speak the word of truth, to say this prayer, to know that I am, to know that everyone is, to know that God is love. And I'm so grateful. And from this deep, deep gratitude, I just simply let it be. Probably that's what it means to be divinely lazy. Just let it be and stop worrying, stop doing. Just release into the law and celebrate. And this is so. And so it is.
Okay, I'd like to do a song. The monthly theme is a pause for guidance, and today is a playful pause. So this is a song I wrote a few years back that I thought kind of fit that theme. It's called "There May Be a Message in There." Intuition, superstition, premonition, yep. Sensing, knowing something's flowing to make us feel like that. Inner wisdom from a dream, what do we do with that? In our sight, just hold us tight, 'cause if you don't, it just might be right. Learn to accept, give up the fight. There may be a message in there. There may be a message in there. Receive a gift for the taking if your heart's open now. But you just fell and broke your phone, hard to remember to allow. This winding, rolling, life unfolding with no instruction how. Just take a breath and clear your mind. Don't mind the ache in your behind. Don't be surprised at what you find. There may be a message in there. There may be a message in there. Take it, leave it, give or receive it with your crazy running round. Keep your senses open, pick that penny up you found. The wheels are turning, gears are twirling, life's precious merry-go-round. It's the road we're on and what you bring to it. The past is past, thank God we're through it. The sun sets, rises, shines light through us. There may be a message in there. There may be a message in there. Seasons shifting, time is ticking, hours into years. We step outside our comfort zone to overcome our fears. We wonder when the wisdom's come and light a candle, draw it near. It's just an art, a skill, a practice, just twirls you around like the earth's axis. It can be a pain in your gluteus maximus. That's my physical therapy background. There may be a message in there. There may be a message in there. There may be a message in there. There may be a message in there.
Oh, thank you so much, Lynn. I appreciate your physical therapy background. Hello. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to scoot this way a little bit so that y'all don't have to have the screen in there. There we go. Good morning, everyone. How are y'all doing? Yay! So, I have to tell y'all, this week we're talking about a playful pause. And as y'all know, well, you may or may not know, we are following the global theme. So our parent organization, Centers for Spiritual Living, comes up with these global themes every single week. And each, there's a different minister or practitioner or ministerial student that writes an outline for everyone to use if they so choose. And so this week is the outline that I created. Yay! And it's so funny because when we got to this week, it was probably a year and a half ago that I created it, a year ago, something like that. And so I was like, I wonder if, now Chris is going to even like what, a year ago Chris said. And I read it and I was like, oh, that's just so good. I'm so good. So it made for a very easy week this morning because it turns out that my brain works really well with my brain, even from a year ago. So I decided, with all of that being said, that the best thing that I could do to prepare for a talk about being playful was to play all week. And so I did a lot of playing. I went to a Nats baseball game on Monday night with Rev Ryan, who some of y'all met last Sunday when they were here. I went hiking. Oh my goodness, what else did I do? Yesterday, Lynn called me out of the blue and said, do you want to go to a last minute, well, it wasn't last minute for her, but do you want to go to a wedding with me? And so I did. I kind of dropped everything and said, sure, I'll go to a wedding with you. And we had the best time. Will you pull up the picture, Ivor? So there is Lynn and I. She was playing. She did an amazing job. But there is Lynn and I at the wedding kind of before it started yesterday. And we had such a good time together, eating delicious food and seeing people. She, of course, was friends with the groom and groom. I was not. And so people kept saying, how do you know? Who do you know? How do you know them? And I was like, I don't. So it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed my time with her yesterday. And it's so interesting because when we think of play, at least, when I think of play, I don't necessarily think of it as being something that I need to do, or even as the things that I do are play. And so I started kind of digging into this idea of play, and what really came up, who talks about play a lot, and I know this is going to shock all of you, Brené Brown. So, we've been talking about authenticity and we've been talking about vulnerability, and I've been kind of gushing about Brené Brown. I've been reading her Gifts of Imperfection most recently. And along with this authenticity and vulnerability is this idea of playfulness and this idea of just really stepping into our lives and showing up in this way that just allows us to be so free. And she talks about the correlation between vulnerability and play. And honestly, that's not really what I wanted to hear, right? I wanted to hear that play is easy and I can do it however I want to do it and it's fine. But there's kind of not stipulations, but there are things that make play. And as soon as we shift out of those things, out of those ideas, it no longer becomes play anymore, it's work again, also something I didn't want to hear because I am really good at making play into work, I have discovered. And and so she talks about this. There's a Dr. Stuart Brown, a psychiatrist, and he's kind of the leading expert on play, especially in adults. And he has 7 properties of play. And the first one is that play is purposeless. And I think this is the one that I am the worst at switching. So I like to think that everything that I do has to have a purpose towards something. And so even if I'm going hiking, or even if I'm doing art or creating into my art journal or journaling in the morning, there has to be a purpose to it, right? But then all of a sudden it shifts my energy from I'm just playing for the sake of playing to I'm trying to get to this end result over here. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I have to let all of that go for this to just be play and to well up from within me authentically in a way that allows me to be vulnerable and to be fully myself. The second thing that he says is that it's voluntary. So we can't be forced into playing or force ourselves into playing. It has to be something that is fun and just kind of wells up from within. It is an intrinsic thing that comes from within. It is inherently attractive. So we want to play. And so the things that we are doing that we consider play attract us to them naturally. And what's really interesting to me, and he talked about this, I watched a little video by him. He talked about this idea that not all play is going to look the same, right? So what I consider being playful might annoy the heck out of you, or you might not be interested in at all, or vice versa, right? And so we can't, there's not really a blueprint for what play can look like for us. Instead, we have to really tap into ourselves and tap into, what does play look like for me? What is inherently attractive to me? What is calling out to me? What is seeking me just as I am seeking it? The next thing that he says about play is that it is a freedom of time. So you lose your sense of time when you're in this idea of play. So have you ever gotten so into the flow that you just lose all sense of time? It just completely disappears. The movie Soul. Have any of y'all seen the movie Soul? It's the new Disney Pixar movie that came out last year during the pandemic, during the still happening pandemic. So it's all about this idea of being in the flow. And they talk about in this movie, so he's a piano player and he's this really amazing piano player, and he gets into this flow state, and then he's all about staying there. And then of course there's a whole journey because it's a Disney Pixar movie, right? But this flow state, and they have it animated, and watching these people be in this flow state, and every one of them is doing something different. Some people are dancing, some people are singing, some people are writing, some people are sitting in meditation, some people are working. You know, there's not any judgment around what this flow state is, but they're all in it. And so to me, finding that play is where we lose our sense of time, and we're just so in it. He also says that we have a diminished consciousness of self, which is just really big words for we forget what we look like. We don't care how we're showing up to the rest of the world. We're just so in our own experience of whatever is happening that we're just fully in it. Our ego kind of, we just set it aside for just a second and relax into this play, whatever that we are doing. It has improvisational potential. He liked to use big words. He was a psychiatrist, which basically means that when we are in this space of play, that is where we are the most creative. That is where we are the most innovative. That is where the magic happens. I talk a lot about where the magic happens, right? it's in this play when we've lost our sense of self and we've set our ego aside and we don't care what we look like and we've lost sense of time and we're just really in that flow state. All of the sudden, the ideas and the inspiration and the creativeness and the innovation and the solutions to the problems and all of that just come flooding in because we've let go of the work, we've let go of the forcing. And then finally, he says that it has a continuation desire. So you want to continue to play. Once you're in play and you've hit all this stuff, you don't want to go out. You don't want the party to end. You don't want your friends to go home. You don't want to have to put away your Legos, whatever it may be, right? And you can see this in children. It's really hard to get children to transition from whatever they're doing that's playful to eating dinner or cleaning up or whatever it may be. So these are the 7 properties of play. And, I was really thinking about how often do I actually do this in such a way that I truly lose myself, that I truly lose a sense of time, that I truly am stepping so into my own flow state that all of a sudden possibility and potentiality is opening up to me. And I am in this space where I'm just so authentically me. How often does that happen? And how can I, without changing play into work, how can I cultivate having more of that in my life? Ernest Holmes, in this thing called You, says, "You exist, that divine feeling, fire, imagination, and creativity must or may be expressed through you. The spirit comes to you with a new and fresh creativity. Be yourself and express life as you find it." And to me, that is the definition. That is the essence of play, is to just be fully ourselves and to step into everything. So I think part of the reason that this is hard for me, that it's hard for me to just play with a purposelessness, is because we have a cultural belief that we are only valuable or worthy or productive when we're busy, right? Like we, as a country at least, we are addicted to the idea of busy. And so it is always, what am I doing? Where am I going? Who are you seeing? What's the next meeting? What's the next agenda item? What's the next thing on your calendar? And we can see this showing up in a lot of different aspects. We see it showing up in the way that we expect everybody to be able to work and multiple jobs often, right? And you should only need, 6 hours of sleep. And really, I only need 4 hours of sleep. And other people say that I need like 9 hours of sleep, but other people, I've heard that in this whole, well, I had to drink 6 cups of coffee this morning to be awake and present for this meeting. And well, I had to drink 10 cups of coffee, right? And it's this constant one-upmanship of who is the most busy, who is the most productive, because we have this underlying belief that our worth is intrinsically tied to our productivity. And it's not. I'm here to tell you it's not. I just want to put a cap in that right now. And so what often happens is that we're going along in life and we're able to just kind of maintain that busy unless something happens, right? We have an illness or a death in the family or a close friend or something like that, or a breakdown, or we get burnt out or something like that. But let's say none of that happens and we go and we go and we go and we work and we work and we work. And then we hit retirement and we retire and all of this stuff. And then a lot of times it's so hard to find what's next because all of the sudden our own belief of our own worth was so tied into what we were doing out in the world that we forgot how to be. And that's really what it's all about, right? We are not human doings. We are human beings. And so instead of waiting for that moment where we hit that wall and we go, what is going on? What do I do with my life? Or maybe you've already hit that wall, and that's fine if you're there. And instead, we get to look at, how can I bring this idea of play into every moment of my life? How can I be so committed to playing that all of a sudden, even my work is in the flow state? Even the things that I do need to do, get to do for my life to work the way that I want it to, how can I bring in this aspect of play in such a way that it just feels good to live every moment of my life? So that's the question that I've been asking myself. I don't know that I have any like super lofty, amazing answers for you. But what I do know, something that I've done is, and I love being y'all's minister. It's really fantastic. Because I have a very free schedule. Like I have meetings and set like that, or things like that are set. But as far as getting my work done, y'all don't really care when I do my work. And so if something's not coming, I set it down. I walk away because I want to be aware of when I'm trying to force something to come through versus when I'm in that flow state. And I will notice and I'll be like, oh God, I feel squidgy in my body. I feel really just not good and everything's tight. And so I'll get up and I'll move my office right behind me. As I said last week, and I have plants in the corner, but I'll get up and I'll go outside because plants don't replace sun and plant lights don't replace sun as much as I may want them to. So I'll go outside and I'll walk around the building and I'll stop down and I'll get my sandwich that I get 3 or 4 times a week. And I'll talk to the people that I now know because I get the same sandwich 3 to 4 times a week. And I just take a breath. And then fairly often, that will result in me not coming back to it that day, whatever the it was that I was forcing. And so I do a lot of my best work for the center between the hours of like 2 and 5 a.m. because I'll wake up and I'll be inspired and I'll be like, oh my goodness, we could do it this way. And I'm on my computer, just hanging out in bed, sitting in bed, and I'm on my computer working because that's when the inspiration is there. That's when the flow state is there. And I love being able to do that and just knowing, okay, well, I'll just sleep in the morning. It's okay. It's okay that this is when my flow state is. And so we get to do that. I understand we don't all have the luxury that I have, the privilege of working whenever we want. Some people have dedicated hours that you have to go into somewhere and do some sort of job. And yet, how can we step away from that even then? How can we take a moment? When I wait at tables, which I've done multiple times over my life, but when I waited tables, what I loved about that job was that it was immediately obvious where my consciousness was. Immediately obvious, right? Like I could watch the shift both directions based on tips, right? Because I'm getting multiple tips from multiple tables throughout the night. And I would watch my fellow coworkers, my fellow servers, they'd get a bad tip. And then all of a sudden, every time I was in the back of house with them, oh, I got another bad tip. Oh, I got another bad tip, right? On and on and on and on and on. And it would just crash and burn. And I would see it happening to myself and I would stop it. Not always. I wasn't perfect. And I would talk to them too. I'd be like, well, just that one tip doesn't mean that, your whole night doesn't have to be shot for that. But I would stop and I would go to the bathroom. I'd be like, they can wait on their ranch dressing. I waited tables in the South, so it was always ranch dressing. They can wait on their ranch dressing. And I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'm going to regroup. I'm going to have a little mini come to Jesus. We don't really do that here, but I'm going to have a little mini come to Jesus with myself. And I'm going to go into the bathroom and I'm going to center and I'm going to get back into that flow state. And I'm going to get back into that place within me that remembers the truth that this is all God. And that bad tip doesn't define me. And forgetting that woman's ketchup doesn't define me. I am inherently worthy in who I am. And so we can do this, even if you're not getting to just set your own schedule and work all these crazy hours, we can do this in every moment. At any moment, we can pause and we can just say, okay, what would it take to return to that space of playful joy, to return to that flow state? The truth is that we are inherently worthy. You have no choice but to be worthy. It's who you are. It's oozing out of your pores. It is the very essence of your existence is worth. And so there's nothing that you can do or not do to not be worthy. It's who you are. Sorry. I hope that's okay with you. It's who you are. You are worthy. And so anything and everything that you do above that baseline level of worth is still worthy, always. Even if we make a mistake, even if we get a bad tip, even if we have a rough day or a rough moment or a hard conversation or a fight or something goes wrong or we yell at the guy in front of us or whatever it may be, we are inherently worthy. It is who we are as these divine beings having this human experience. And so I'm going to invite you to play with me today. So I have bubbles. Now, we are wearing masks, but these bubbles, these are my favorite bubbles, y'all. And if you're at home, I invite you to do something that is playful. And Ivor, will you turn my mic down so that when I put my mask on, it doesn't blow everybody out? Down, down, down. Awesome, thank you. Down a little more. So these bubbles, the nice thing about these bubbles is that they work better when you, would somebody like to come help me hand these out? Thank you. Thank you. They work better when you don't blow them, when you just stand up and use them in the room. So, awesome. I am going to have all of y'all stand up. And you can do this in any way that you want. You can turn it back up now, Ivor. Ivor, will you turn it back up? So the way that I like to do these is I like to spin. So, and maybe this isn't your thing, and that's fine. Just humor me because it's my thing. So we are playing together. Oh, aren't these great? These are my favorite bubbles. Hanasaur, did you get bubbles? Well, would you like to come get some? Here, thank you. Y'all look really good when you're playing, I have to say. So, yeah, y'all can see this. Fencing with bubbles. Oh. So I have lost my crowd here in the room. And so if you are at home, if you are watching this via live stream, or if you are watching later on, I invite you to find something that makes you feel like a kid again and to just play. Just play. Yes, go outside, do them from your balcony. I recommend not doing them on a hardwood floor, which is where I practiced this, and then I had to mop. Yeah, we are washing the floor. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. Oh. So this energy, this play, this lightheartedness, this fun, this time of connection where we're just being together in this silly way that has no purpose. This truly is purposeless. I invite you to step into that as much as possible this coming week. In every way that you can, in every moment, how can I step into this joy, into this play, into the essence of who I am? And I invite you to ask yourself, what did I love to do as a child that I don't do anymore because I thought that it was silly or immature or whatever it may be? What was that thing? Was it finger painting? Was it blowing bubbles? Was it hopscotch on the sidewalk with sidewalk chalk? Was it somersaults? I'm not even sure I could do a somersault anymore, but what was that thing? And I invite you to just go do it with wild abandon and see what happens. See how the energy in your body shifts. See how your energy in your entire life shifts when you take time every day to just play and to just breathe into that essence of worth of who you are. And so as we breathe into that knowing of our own divinity, I invite you to close your eyes and to pray with me. Knowing that there is only that one thing going on, that one thing that we call our own worthiness, that one thing that we call playfulness and joy and fun and laughter. It is so divine and it is so sacred. It is so profound and so deep that, the best thing we can do is to laugh and to lighten up and to just allow our hearts to open and blossom to the truth of the knowing that there is only that one thing going on, that one infinite, absolute, eternal presence, that one thing that is laughing itself into being at the very edges of the universe, that one thing that is creating stars and galaxies and planets. That one thing that is laughing itself into existence in each new moment within and as each and every one of us here, each and every person listening from their homes or their cars or their work or wherever they're at. Each of us is the divine showing up as this expression of play and joy and laughter in this moment and every moment. And so we just step fully into that, step into the knowing of the truth that play is so important, that our intentionality and our self-worth is so important that we better not take it too seriously. And we can just breathe into that profound divine love for ourselves, that fun and that joy and that laughter, the essence of our being. Knowing the truth that each and every one of us is divine, each and every one of us is worthy, each and every one of us is valuable as the baseline. Forever, today, forever, and always. We are divinely, perfectly, imperfectly human and spiritual, all in one, wrapped up in these amazing beings. And I am so grateful for that. I am grateful for this community that comes together to laugh and to play, that can be handed bubbles and just go wild. I am so grateful for this community that knows the meaning of beloved community and steps into that together in each moment, always and forever moving forward. And I am so grateful for the love and the worth and the value that I see in this community, for the fun and the playfulness. And so I just simply release my word. I let it go. I know it is done as I have spoken. And so I can just surrender and play my life to its fullest expression and watch as those around me do the same as we say together, and so it is. And so I have a tell us question, Lynn, before y'all come up. Or while y'all are coming up. Ivor, I'm going to switch to this microphone. Number one. Yep, there we go. So my question for Tell Us, and feel free to come up, leave your mask on. My question for Tell Us is, what is your favorite way to play? What is your favorite way to play? Suzanne, did you have something? That might not have been the question you were expecting, but I still want to hear what you were going to say. Leave your mask on.
This may not answer your question, but when I was in seminar a few years ago, We were asked the question, is fun spiritual? And we came up with the answer, yes, it is. Because when you're having fun, you're not in time. You're not thinking about what you have to do tomorrow or what you should have done yesterday. You're totally having fun. And I think the other thing, which was sort of coming off of your, was you're totally spontaneous. Nothing can be planned. You don't plan anything. It just happens. For example, when Tim and I faced each other with the bubbles, we started playing like we were swords.
Thank you, Suzanne. Go ahead and put your mask back on for me. Thank you. So, how do you play? What is your favorite way to play? Richard, I saw you kind of. Do you have something? Come up. Leave your mask on.
Favorite way to play? Hard to say. I don't know. Just reading a good book is fun, or play, or watching a TV show, or movie, whatever. I know when I was a kid, I used to have a cap pistol. Those things.
Yep.
And I played with soldiers and fought with Indians and the soldiers and all stuff that some parents say, oh, kid can do that. But I enjoyed it, and I didn't turn out to be a criminal or anything, but it was fun. And it was, and then on the weekends, me and a couple of friends of mine, we'd get together and go out by 10 o'clock Saturday morning and make up a story, and just spontaneous, like you say, act out, Yep. There was no play date or anything like that. It was just Saturdays, get out of the house. So those are good memories. And but like I say, if I'm just sitting around and playing with my cat, whatever, or being with friends, let's play. I was at a restaurant last night. Some friends of mine celebrating their 25th anniversary. So we were having a great time. And like you say, the sense of time was 2.5 hours went by so fast, So, and the great thing about it, he paid for the whole bill. So there you go.
Thank you. Yes, that where you lose time and all of a sudden you've been talking to your friends for 4 hours and you were at lunch, but now you're like, should we just order more food because it's dinner time? Hanasora, do you want to come up and say what you said? You can leave your mask on.
Yep. Thank you. Yes. Oh, sorry. Hi. Sing loud. Yeah, Richard's picnics was, I was a voice in your ear that you love that playing. For me, there's a kid at the time, like 11 or 12 years old. He's into his preteens now. When they traveled anywhere, he would bring me back toys, and his mom would just like go with the flow. I know several kids, and plus in the neighborhood. Oh, Hondasaur would love this, and one was a bubble machine thingy, like with batteries. So I'd go on the balcony, and he knows me. He always knew what to get, but it would always be toys from some gift shop or some place where they would travel all over the place, because I'd take care of their animals and stuff while they were away, or animals would stay with me. Legos. This runs down through the family. I still have my mom's Legos. She wrote a little hi in the Legos. That's in whatever cabinet. Whenever I open it, I see that. And I still have her little thing of Legos. She had toys all over the place and such. So it just for me, there's no specific thing. I don't have an agenda on play. It really is off organic with me. Play.
Thank you, Hanasora. Anyone else? How do you play? What is your favorite way to play? Oh, Ed, and Nancy. Come on up, Nancy, and then we'll do Ed, and then we'll.
Okay, I was going to say painting because I do lose track of time when I'm doing that. But then when you were talking, I thought, I'm painting for a purpose. I want to put this picture up or put it in an exhibit. So there's something I see on the Daily Ohm where this gal just sits there and does something, just paints, not for any particular purpose. And I thought, that's what I need to do and not worry about what it looks like. In fact, when I was in college, they used to say, it's the process, not the product. That's important. So you've given me an idea. That's what I'm going to do.
Process art is a lot of fun, for sure. And Ed.
Mine's pretty simple. At this age, twice a day, I go down to the creek in my backyard. I have Akating Creek in my backyard. And twice a day, I go down there and I feed ducks. I have anywhere from 15 to 35 mallard ducks waiting to be fed. And I go down there and love playing with them because I throw the corn down in different places in the creek and they go after it. And I do that twice a day. So I just love ducks and love playing with them.
Thank you so much, Ed. That was one of my favorite pastimes with the kids that I've taken care of over the years, is to take them to feed ducks. Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. Hopefully this gave you some ideas of other play that you can participate in. And I look forward to hearing more about how everyone has played next week. And now, all angles.
I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, yeah, hide it under the bushel. No, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Shine all over the universe. I'm gonna let it shine, oh yeah, shine over the universe. I'm gonna let it shine, shine all over the universe. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, oh yeah, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. One more time. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
And And so in the comments, there were lots of comments coming in from people who are watching online. So I heard cartwheels, or I saw cartwheels, and lots of bubbles, and riding bicycles when we were younger, and now riding motorcycles for a couple of our people, and playing with our dogs, playing with our animals. I know that that's a big way that I play as well. So thank you, everyone, and keep those comments coming. If you are online, tell us your favorite ways to play. Yes, Nancy. Singing is a big way that I enjoy playing as well. And so now this is the time in our service where we get to play through our gifts and our tithes and our offerings. And so just know that all of the gifts that you bring to this center, your time, your talent, your treasure, all of it is going forth to spread this word, the Science of Mind word, out into the world in a bigger way, and to grow and develop this beloved community that we have sitting right here in this room and sitting right here on the live stream and at home. And so just bring all of that love that you have, all of that energy and time and attention that you give to the center, to your heart, and let us say our offertory affirmation together aloud. I open my heart to give and receive the blessings that our spirits promise to me. As I do, the entire universe conspires to give me an abundant life, and I open to accept it. And so it is. Uh-huh. Yeah.
I woke up this morning singing, God is so good. I woke up this morning singing. I woke up this morning singing, God is so good. My God is so good to me. I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. My God is so good to me. I said, how God is so good to me. I said, my God is so good to me.
Songs are prayers. And as Reverend Chris mentioned, that our time together, our prayers, it's all how we spread the word to the world. And I invite us all to bless the prayer requests that I mentioned before. And take your time and make your prayer request, submit it. Give yourself that gift to know the truth about God and about yourself. And as practitioners, and as we all are practitioners, because we all come together to practice science of mind, we know that the prayer request is answered when it is thought, when it is written, when it is released in the perfect mind of God. And I know that love, friendship, wholeness, joy, abundance, peace is already manifested in the perfect mind of God. And it is mine to open my heart, to open my soul, to look at the experience I want to experience and breathe it in. And I know it for everyone, that the hearts are open, the spiritual eyes are wide open, and it is easy and effortlessly to accept it. And I know that the Celebration Center is a prosperous, lavish organization. I know that every member and friend of the community is participating in the law of circulation. And we give and receive. And there is no separation between these two. And knowing that, I celebrate the money, the energy, power of prosperity flows through the Celebration Center, through its programs, through the technology, through music, through wisdom. And it comes back to the world, to everyone who gives, multiplied abundantly. And I simply say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is.
Okay, so
I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. That's the way I like it. That's the way I like it. That's the way I like it. That's the way I like it.
Oh, thank you so much, All Angles. And thank you, everyone, for coming today and for playing with us. And so I just send us all out into our week to play and have fun and be brilliant and live our lives full of laughter and joy and silliness in every way. And so it is. And so it is. Hold on just a second, Richard.